It's winter time. It's February, March. Business on the service drive is dreadfully slow. As they say in the sales business, are you waiting for the up bus, or are you being proactive and trying to change the trend? My name is Ed Stefanko. I'm one of the trainers for the BRP Quality Service Program. Your dealership has hired me to assist you in the service department primarily to provide a better customer experience and help with customer retention, but also to help you sell more labor hours, more parts, more accessories, overall improve the revenue and the profitability of the dealership. In the Powersports business, I've noticed that you have trends, up and down months on the service drive. Things get real busy in May, June, July. They drop off in the winter. What it is when customers want to use their units, they typically will bring them in for service. I think the better approach is to become proactive. Mr. Smith, my name is Ed Stefanko. I'm a service advisor at Huge Powersports. How are you today? Great. Hey, the reason I'm calling, not here to sell anything, but what I'm doing is I've been researching our customer base, and I see that you purchased a BRP side-by-side from us in March of last year. Is that correct? Great. Do you still own it? Very good. How's it been treating you? Great. One of the things you did is when you bought the side-by-side, you also bought a prepaid maintenance program, meaning that you purchased the maintenance going forward. Based upon my records, I'm not seeing where you have taken advantage of that. Is that true? Well, great. Well, what I'd like to offer you, I know that the weather has been kind of bad. You probably haven't been using your side-by-side very much right now. I've got some time right now where I can get you in and out very quickly if you'd like to schedule an appointment. How many hours or miles do you have on your vehicle? Great. Well, typically what I can do is if you could bring your vehicle in tomorrow before noon, I can get it out the next day by noon for you. Would that work for you? Well, great. While you're here, some of the other things we'll do is we'll look at the VIN number and we'll pull up any safety or any recalls or service bulletins on your vehicle, and we'll take care of those while you're here. Again, those are covered by the manufacturer. While you're here, our technicians will also give what I would say is a physical on your side-by-side. What they'll do is go over and see how it's wearing, see if everything is operating within specifications, and we'll give you a report back that tells you. Basically, we're looking for things to make sure that everything is still within specification. If we see an issue that's out of specification or it's a safety issue, we'll bring that up because we want you to be safe in your side-by-side. So I'll plan on seeing you tomorrow. About 10 o'clock, will you bring it in? Great. Well, it'll be ready on noon the following day. Thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing you. Okay, a variation of that would be to call on your prepaid maintenance people who maybe have not been in recently. You can use a very similar word track with them, but what you do is get them to acknowledge, I see that you've serviced with before, but we haven't seen you in 6 months. Have you still been using your side-by-side? Well, great. What I'd like to do is you prepaid this for the maintenance. What I'd like to do is offer you to schedule it and bring it in maybe tomorrow at 10. I can turn it around in 24 hours for you, and that way when the weather breaks, you'll be ready to go. And then just go through the rest of the dialogue. The third customer that would be easy to get into would be looking at people who've got service bulletins or recalls. Now, typically what you can do, like with BRP, you can go in on their website and they'll print out and display all of the units sold by your store and what they're under recall or service bulletin. That gives you the list of people to call. So what you do is you might make a phone call and say, Mr. Smith, my name is Ed Stefanko. I'm with Huge Powersports. Hey, the reason I'm calling, I was going through our BRP side-by-side customer base, and I noticed that on your vehicle that there is a service bulletin's been called out for. What I'm calling about is to try to schedule you, bring it in and get it fixed. I know your time is very important to you and that you want to be able to use your vehicle on your ranch or for recreational purposes. If you bring it in tomorrow, I'd be able to turn it around in 24 hours for you. There is a part with the recall, and I've got it available. I can't hold it just randomly for you, but if I've got a scheduled appointment, I can set that aside so that we can take care of you very quickly when you're here. Would you like to take advantage of that? Great. Hey, while you're here, just to let you know, we'll also do a checkup on your vehicle. Our technicians will go over it, kind of give it like a physical, like when you go to the doctor. We'll be looking to make sure everything's operating within specification. If it's not, we'll bring it to your attention so you can take corrective action when it makes most sense for you. Think that would work for you? Great. Well, good. Well, I'll put you down for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and again, we'll get you turned around and get you ready to go on the next day, probably by noon. Look forward to seeing you. You take a look at it again, kind of in summary. You've got 3 situations where, in 2 cases, customers already paid for the service, they're just not using it, so that's of value to them. You're going to, for those people, you're going to do check on their recalls, and then you're going to provide a vehicle inspection. For the people who are coming in for a recall or service bulletin, you're going to take care of that action so that their vehicle is taken care of, and you're also going to provide them with a vehicle inspection report, which will let them know what the service is like on their vehicle, how is it operated, is all within specification. So those are 3 ways and 3 potential customers that you can attack now, and hopefully get some customers into your dealership where you get the opportunity to look at their vehicles, go over them, and provide them a valuable vehicle inspection report and potentially upsell them on some other areas. I'm old school. I believe that the best way to communicate with customer is verbally, ideally face-to-face. But let's be honest about it. Sometimes people prefer other forms of communication. That's why I'm going to provide you with some templates that you could use for either a text message or email. When I was selling cars, I used to communicate with the customer at least 2 different ways at the same time, figuring out I have a better chance of getting hold of them. Maybe their email address changed, maybe their cell phone had changed, but I also figured that maybe they just have a preference for how they want to communicate. They can communicate easier in one way or the other. So keep that in mind as you're trying to reach out to these customers. Reach out to the customer multiple ways, communicate with them the way they want to. Again, my name is Ed Stefanko. I'm a trainer with BRP Quality Service Program. You can always reach me on my cell phone number, which is 817-896-3183. That's 817-896-3183. Look forward to working with you and helping you. Feel free to give me a call. Let me know how I can assist. Have a great week.